Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on this video. In this one, we're going over some theories that I have about the Rick movie trilogy. Let's hop right into it. Alright, so everybody knows Rick's been gone for about 6 to 7 years on the main TV show storyline. We haven't gotten much information about where he is. We have World Beyond giving us little tiny tidbits of information about everything involving the Rick movies and the Civic Republic military and what their whole motivations are. But nobody has been really talking about what exactly Rick himself has been up to and what his whole storyline has consisted of so far. So I want to theorize a little bit and kind of go over what I think is the most likely scenario for what Rick has been doing for the last 6 to 7 years. So first, some background information. So Rick Grimes has been off the show, like I said, 6 to 7 years. How long was he actually on The Walking Dead in their timeline? Probably about 4 to 5 years or so, right? So you have to consider the fact that Rick has been gone longer than he was ever with the original OG group. Longer than he was ever with Michonne, or Daryl, or Carol. He's been gone for over half of Judith's entire life. So that's a very big amount of time. Obviously, so much happened in the first 7 seasons of The Walking Dead that it felt like at least 10 years worth of stuff for them, and it was only about, like I said, 4 to 5 years. So is that the same case for Rick now? In this amount of time that he's been gone. Rick could be a completely different person. He could have a whole different group that he's with, or at least that he somewhat cares about. And that's something that I think we do have to consider when we talk about what exactly Rick's been up to. Now, I'm just shedding some light on this theory because I think it's worth talking about. But my personal feelings are that Rick obviously probably will never lose his pure love for his true family back at home in Alexandria. And I think he's still going to try and do anything he can to get back there and to take care of everybody he cares about. Because, that's just who he is. His daughter is back in Alexandria. His whole real family. Daryl's his brother, and he has Michonne, and so I just don't see him forming any true bonds like that with anybody outside in the CRM where he is now. So that does beg the question, how is the CRM stopping Rick from going home and seeing his family? How could they convince him or physically stop him from being able to go back there? I don't think Rick is just a normal civilian in the Civic Republic. I think he is in the military, or at least a little bit higher up in the ranks. Somebody that is actually important in there right now, because I think if Rick was smart, which he is, he's going to kind of want to play the game of the CRM and get to know what exactly they're up to, because, if it is something global that they're trying to achieve, which it seems like they are, or at least something countrywide in terms of the United States, I think that he's going to want to put a stop to that if he knows that it's going to affect the people that he cares about back at home. So he's going to want to build rank in the CRM, kind of get a good idea for what exactly is going on and what these people are up to so that he can stop it. And that could be a big reason why he hasn't came home yet. It does kind of suck that he hasn't at least given them some type of little hint that he's still out there, at least, just so they know that, he's not dead, he's still alive. I guess that was what happened in Michonne's episode, but it just stinks that she didn't forward that information further to the rest of the group besides Judith, and it's understandable why she isn't telling anyone like Daryl just yet, but I know we'll get to that in part 2 of season 11, I'm hoping. If they save that for close to the end of the show, I'm going to be quite disappointed. And so, while I think Rick didn't physically leave that evidence behind that he was still alive, I think he had someone possibly leave that stuff there, or at least just the little phone that has Judith and Michonne's picture on it. I don't know why his boots were there. I believe that's what it was. I don't know why those were there, why he'd leave those behind, because obviously I feel like those are very important to him. He's had those for a very long time. Now, that could be when he was first initiated into the CRM, and that's why he had to leave his boots behind and maybe get into the CRM gear or something like that. And maybe we could see that play out in the first movie, and you see somebody leave the phone there with Judith's picture. It still doesn't fully add up because, Judith didn't look the way she did in that picture for a good 3 years. So what was Rick doing for that full amount of time? He could have been prisoner somewhere. He could have been stuck in that mental health facility that they keep mentioning. But I find it surprising that they wouldn't try and test on him, knowing that they've been doing that to soldiers in the CRM in World Beyond. And that's exactly what we saw Jadis doing in that post-credit scene last episode. Hopefully she shed some light on what exactly Rick is up to and how the whole dynamic is going on between her and him at the moment, because they've both been in the CRM for 6 to 7 years. So, they have to still talk to each other, at least in some way. I'm not sure how big the place is in general, and if they could truly avoid each other for that long, or why they would want to in the first place. I guess it all depends on the type of person Jadis turned into. when they got to the CRM and who Rick decided to stay around. I don't know. But yeah, before I go off on too many tangents here, in general, I think that Rick, like I said, is in the military and he's trying to find a way to stop the CRM from doing the terrible things that they are doing. Because Rick is a very honorable man and he's gonna sacrifice going back to his family to at least save hundreds of thousands of people in these communities that the CRM wants to take down. They just did it to Omaha. Rick possibly knows that they're gonna keep doing stuff like that. So yeah, it really does beg the question, how many times have the CRM taken down big communities? Do they keep doing that, or is that something new they keep doing? It seemed to affect Elizabeth Kublik quite a bit in season 1 when that happened. You know, she was tearing up, so it seemed like she hadn't really done that before, but I don't know how high up her rank really is, and if there's somebody else there that kind of ran another operation similar to that somewhere else. But yeah, guys, I can't wait to see what Rick has actually been up to. It's been way too long, and I'm kind of tired of waiting and waiting for so long trying to figure out what he's been doing. It would just be great to get some real information sometime soon, or at least a release date for the movie, or something like that. At least know who's directing it so we can get an idea of the feel for the movie, if the director is somebody that we recognize. Hopefully it's not too far away. Hopefully we find out where Michonne is too, because they gotta answer that question. That's a big hole in the plot right now. Is she going to come first before the Rick movies? Are they going to make a little series about her? And how exactly do they plan to have those two storylines meet up in the movies? But with all that being said, guys, thank you all for listening this long into the video. If you did, I really enjoy talking about this type of stuff and actually just staying away from Walking Dead news in general, just kind of theorizing and having a good time talking about stuff relating to Rick and the movies. I can't wait to see them, and I will be reviewing every single little bit of information that we get about them. And until then, I will see you guys all in my next video. Take care.